Okay, so what we're trying to do right here is give an explanation for how we have named these string shapes, which are part of our S2L and S3L, but we're going to be going away from that, but we still have to refer to the pattern because we want the general pattern shape. So this will be the general pattern shape unless it hits a tuning warp. Okay, so if there's like a C here, we would build the C from here, string bottom string, string 2, string 3, string 4 from the bottom, and then these two guys would have to warp over. They would have to warp over like that for strings 5 and 6, right? Okay, and then I'll just kind of like, fit this in so it looks good. This is a no string no play. It's not even warped over anyway. And there we've built our C right there. This would be the fret nut right here, but it doesn't have to be. So that's how it can still be in the same key. So even though we were talking about the key of G and the key of D to get the 2, 3, 4, and the key of A and the key of E to get these things, now these are all in the key of C. This is all the key of C now, right? So that's the wonderful thing about the guitar, is that we can do that. We can use these string shapes that were derived as the bottom string in the 5 kids shapes: C, A, G, E, and D. The bottom string of each of those diatonic scales, it would be diatonic. You want to keep it diatonic when you're dealing with, if possible, but I can do them pentatonically. So the C would be, and then the A would be, and the G would be, and the E would be, hey, and the D. There, I didn't miss a note. So there was a little hesitation, but so again, we're not in the 5 keys anymore to use those same string fragments to build a C diatonic scale, and there it is, the C diatonic scale. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, warp over 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5. So we did the warp over. Now let's just warp it back. I'm going to warp it back. There, you see how the 7 went back over to the unwarped, which is with P4 tuning there. That would be, so that's what the pattern is. And once again, the reason why we don't show the warp in the patterns is because we're going to be starting on different strings and building from there. So for instance, if we start on the G string, we're over here now. We're going to not be looking at the C. If we start on the G string, we have our 6 strings there. We're going to warp over the top 2 strings with the tuning third. So the pattern, we bring it over. Now let's see, this is going to be a G pattern, so I pretty much know where we're going to put these notes. Don't want it crooked at all, because we want to be able to see nice fret columns here. There's supposed to be just a lone wolf 7 there, and if this was the fret nut on the open strings, the E would be the 6th. This would be an unplayable. Alright, but if we're up there, it's just a G shape. It could be a G shaped anything. That 6 could be an A flat, which would be the sixth of, well, wouldn't say an A flat would be the sixth of B. That sixth could be a G sharp, would be the, nice way to put it. That would be the sixth of the key of B. So if I just find my G sharp and I want to play a G pattern there, we're going root. Guess what? Root is a B right there. Alright, that's a G-shaped B, so it would be like this. Alright, that's hard note to, but I like to play the big one. It's just if my fingernails start growing, I'm not pressing down on those notes, strings, right? So again, it doesn't have to be, now we have, we can just build any of the 5 cage shapes with the 5 string patterns that again are the bottom strings of the 5 cage chord C, A, G, E, D in the open string, between the fret nut and the first dot. So that's where all that comes from. So that's a very useful diagram, but keep in mind that the top 2 strings would have to be warped over. Let's go back even one more. So I've shown both of them here. The reason why there's this many strings shown is because we want to do 2 of each one of them. Actually, the only reason, if I wanted to do that, then there'd be even more strings. We'd have a stack of about 10 strings, because we'd have to go 3 to 3, 6 to 6, and then we'd have to do the 2, 5, and the 7. Okay, so where would that be? We'd want that 7 to 7 and all that stuff. So that could get fairly involved. We would have to start and do like this whole thing, and also put that on top of this. So we have to find a little space for that, and it's probably going to come up over here, and that this kind of thing, where we'd have this long of a pattern. But the reason why we would want to do that is so we have 3 to 3, 6 to 6, 2 to 2, 5 to 5, 7 to 7. Okay, so we really didn't need this part. We didn't need this many, because 7's going to go to 3 again anyway. So this is it. This is our pattern here. That's what we're looking at. If we want to show the 7 to 7, 6 strings of each one of them, then we can make each of the 5 cage shapes. And we did it for C, we did it for G. You can do it for all of them. This is the E shape. The E shape starts with the root, so if we wanted to make it into an E shape like this, okay, we'd have our E shape here. We'd want to warp over that E shape there, those top 2 strings. Okay, so now where are they going to lie? We did a pretty good pace there. So there it is. Here's your Locrian, 7 root 2 3 4 5 6 7 root. Okay, in addition we have the E shape root right there. Okay, so 7 root is part of the E shape. That's what we got, and that's how we build the E shape. That is the E shape. So no matter what chord, no matter what key you're in, you want to be in the key of F. So here's your F, here's your E-shaped F. The 7th of F would be the B there. And now this is 1/2 step up from the open E. It's the F. Now we can access these notes here. B has 4 sharps, E has 4 sharps or something like that. Now F only has 1 of them. So we're looking at E being the 7th there. So it'd be alright, so we can build all of the 5 letter shapes, and you can start them from any anywhere, so you can get all 12 keys. So we've got 5,